Welcome back to A Closer Walk. Today we're going to be we're on Unit 3, and this is the last day of Unit 3, Day 5. We're on page 64 in your memory books and page 86 in our youth edition. Today we're going to be talking about a real, personal, practical relationship. A real, a personal, and a practical relationship. Our memory verse is Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 and 38, and Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your mind and with all your soul. This is the first and the greatest commandment." God's plan for advancement of his kingdom depends on his relationship with his people. Throughout the Bible, we see God relating to individuals, real people, in a personal and an intimate and practical way. In the lives of Adam and Eve, we see that God saw their need for clothing, and he took the skins and made clothes for them. Practical, down to earth. In Hagar, and when she was at her lowest moment, when she was rejected by Abraham and despised by Sarah, God met her and her son Ishmael in a special way by meeting their needs for survival and their needs for value, and said he would make great nations out of her son. And for Solomon, when he asked God for the wisdom to lead his people, God saw fit to meet more than just that need. Not only wisdom, but he gave her riches and fame. And for the disciples, Jesus saw their needs when he sent them out 2 by 2. And he gave them authority and provisions so that they could get the job done and accomplish the purposes that he had placed in their lives. Think of your own life experiences. Has God been personal and practical and real in your life circumstances? Has God's presence been at work in your life in a practical and a real way? Ponder that thought. And I'd like for you to highlight some of those times that you recognize and realize that God has been practical and real in your life. Well, as we close out our time together, let's go over the two realities. Reality number one and reality number two. Reality number one, you know it, that is, God is always at work around you. Reality number two is that God pursues a continuing love relationship with you that's real and personal. What about our memory verse today? Have you gotten that down, Pat? Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 and 38. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment." I would like to ask if you would write down your memory verse several times. Use the techniques that we discussed on memorization so that you can hide that word in your heart. So that it'll be there when God wants to bring it to your remembrance. And then I want to ask if you would just think about what truth has God revealed to you today. And then write that truth down in your book or in your journals. And then structure a prayer whereby you request God to make that truth a reality for you and how you can apply that in your life. And that's how we experience God. But I want to thank you for this week's time that we've spent together. And we look forward to you continually working with us on our Experiencing God series as we take a closer walk. Don't forget to put your testimonies on our blogs and log into our Facebook page and see what's going on. And you might get a tweet every now and then. We look forward to seeing you around. Be blessed.